Well, like I think your phone auto-corrected.
I'm making no shake. Here are that's the birthday cake. Look at that.
There we go.
That's
And then you also get some finger hash left in the corners. Huh? Smoke it?
well, smoke right now.
What do we got?
Okay.
15 and an eighth.
Almost 11 and a quarter.
It's the Fico show.
Don't say that.
No? What's it called?
Because it sounds like we're talking about shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Fico.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fico,
okay.
like-
If you're gonna say
Nobody
Fico,
thinks
call it-
about
if you're gonna say
Fico.
Fico, called Fecco.
Fecco? Wait, talk into that mic. I can't hear you. Grab this. This is your mic, by the way.
Call it Fecco.
There you go. Fecco? Fecco. We're making Fecco oil. What is Fecco oil?
Fico sounds like it's somebody's bathroom problem.
We should rebrand RSO Fico with a different set of letters.
Excuse me. What is Fico? What does that stand for? And we have a whole show about Fico today. This is great. I'm excited. Working in the kitchen. Bunch of medical cannabis patients here. Trying to help each other out. It's good stuff right here. Jason's going to teach you how to make Fico. This is not the video that's going to teach you, but...
Fecco.
Sorry, Fecco.
I mean, that sounds so weird.
Whatever, it doesn't sound...
Defecation. Defecoation.
Fico matters.
Fico.
Is that what
Fecco.
we're gonna call the show? Fico matters.
Fico matters. I wasn't going to go there. You guys went right for it. Like, I wasn't going to go there.
We have to put it out
What
in
the
open so you know what to avoid.
I can't hear you. What? This is your mic.
We need to put it out in the open so that we know what to avoid. Right? Otherwise,
this
otherwise
is the
you might
video
step in it
before the
accidentally.
video. So like all those things get hashed out now. Somebody hears it and goes, "Why are they making poop stuff?"
Ew.
Like, so all right. So first we're starting out going through all the processes, grinding up your weed. So you can see in here. This is about the. Can you see in there?
Let me switch cameras. Hold on.
Right.
I could do that. Hold on. There. Nope. Lower. Higher. There it is. Look at that. Look at that thing. Wow.
So this is about how ground we want it. You don't want it super, super fine, because then it's going to clog up our filter.
You're super fine.
Thank you. Also something that I do, like, I save my stems. So when I'm doing RSO, I'll throw all my stems in. The idea is to help create some airspace in there. So like, when we put this in the filter, we're going to run alcohol through it. And if it's too tight, it'll basically just form a fucking ball in the center. So this will allow like all the alcohol to actually like process through while we're filtering it.
Cool. We're just playing a theme song now. We're starting off the show. We're just getting ready here. So if you have questions, give us a call. I think our phones are working. We're going to talk about Fecco today. So if you have questions about bowels and poop, that's next week.
Save that for next week.
Next week is that show. This is Fecco, not fecal.
Is next week really that show?
Well, it is now.
All right.
You're here with Mikey V. Hi,
Hello.
Mikey V. Good to see you, bro.
I know. It's good to see you.
Ooh, good to be seen.
Good to be seen. Good to be seen. Good to be heard. Nice to see you, though.
Yeah, bro. Wow. So yeah, this is a fun day because they're making me squish weed in my fingers. What was that all about? You guys were squishing weed between your fingers. They're not even listening. These guys are like mad scientists over here. Seriously, they're like, look at these two. They're planning. They're making Fico for sick and dying people.
Fecco.
Sorry. Oh. Shoot. Time to see.
Yeah, so we have like a run today.
Hold on. Give me 2 minutes. and I got to share this. This is my time to share the video. You hear that noise? Whoop! Sound of freedom. Freedom with Fecco. Learn how to make Fecco. Learn how to make Fecco, and it's freedom. When you learn how to make Fecco, Pico 2.
What did I get us into?
Oh, you're in trouble.
All right. So
Well, you don't have headphones on, so we got music playing. So hold on. We got we got 2 more minutes. Give me 2 more minutes.
The blender's going.
And I'm sharing. This is my share time. I gotta share the video. Fico. Oh, no, it's Fecco. Don't call it Fico. It's not about buttholes. It's about Fecco. Fully extract cannabis oil. Woo! Hi, Denise. Boop, 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 boop. All right, sharing. I always screw this part up. Sharing. Fico. Nope, it's Fecco. Good morning. Can you get through, bro? There you go. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is the Fecco Show.
Now you got to show the camera that.
All right, hold on. Look at this now. These guys are like mad scientists here in the kitchen. It's amazing. Look
You
at
guys
this.
can't smell it though.
Look at this. Here, can you hold the camera over? Can you see what we're looking at here? Here, watch that wire there. This is what we're looking at. Look at that. Oh, wow. Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Look at this. Oh, man.
So this is our kilo of weed. So quick backstory. So 5 years ago, I got really, really sick from Crohn's. I have Crohn's. And I decided to try to use RSO as a mode of healing myself after seeing people online talking about all the same issues that I had and how it helped them. So I set out to make it myself, and we have a friend that's like a fucking mad scientist that kind of taught us a part of it, and then I picked some stuff on the internet, but everything was kind of not right. I didn't agree with the process they were using. I didn't agree with the items they were using and tools and how they did everything. So over the last 5 years, I've been making it consistently for myself and other patients. Like right now, we're making it for my mother. My mother was diagnosed with cancer recently, so this is gonna be her step. She's about a month into protocol, but like this information isn't accessible on the internet as like a whole. Like there's bits and pieces, and I think it's really misleading. And the way that we make it is a little different than what you can piece together and what's available on the market. And you can tell that especially in the end product. I have had several people tell me that like after tasting this stuff versus the other stuff, it's night and day. Like it tastes really, really bad in general. And what happens is we're going to do a cold extraction process. and that's going to do a couple of things. So we're going to stop the leaching of chlorophyll out into the alcohol, which goes a long way because that's going to burn off while we're using it in the still. Not only that, it helps all the trichromes to break off of the plant. So we start with grinding it. We took about 2 pounds here today, and we ground it down like if you were to grind it down to the level of a joint, that's too fine. You want to have a little bit of space in between there. This helps for when we filter it. So we kind of spent the last hour or so grinding it up, so you don't have to hear us grinding it. And we're gonna go right into the process right now.
Question.
Yeah.
Before, you were handing out buds for us to squeeze them or something. What was that all about? I missed that.
All right, so the most unscientific way that I can probably think of doing this
Good, I love it.
is what I do.
we love that.
And it's funny because everything else in here is super, super scientific and super we measure everything and there's numbers and there's a reason why. This is the part that's not that. So basically what I'll do is I'll take a bud and you can tell not even by how it looks. We've used stuff that kind of doesn't even look to this level before. So what your first thing you do is you just kind of squeeze it. We're just going to squeeze it a little. And you can feel a little bit of stick on your fingers. All right?
There it is, yeah.
Okay, so we just squeeze it, just like you would. Squeeze it down. I can feel a little bit of stick. Okay, it's worth it enough to take to the next step. So I'll literally take it and then just rub it into my hand. Really put pressure into it and break it up. And then once it's done, depending on how sticky my hand is how a general amount of how much oil you're going to get. So yeah.
Only use
Here.
So you basically want to only use material that is sticky, even if it doesn't look good. If it makes your fingers sticky or your hand sticky from squishing it, then that's good enough, because you can get weed that's cheap to make medicine, but if it doesn't have a good oil content or resin content, then it's not going to produce the yield that you need, and it's going to, you want to maximize your yield and maximize your time spent. You want to use the method that gives you the most. So part of this method is only using, discerning enough, being discerning and only using material that is high THC and high resin. Because I've heard stories, people are like, oh, I use, a quarter pound and I get, this many grams. It's just wow, you should have gotten more. And one of the reasons they probably didn't get what they wanted was because they used something cheap. And I don't mean they have to spend a lot of money, but they just used something that wasn't of the quality that you need to make a good return.
Well, people were giving you a hard time because you were saying you can get a certain amount back per pound. How much can you get back per pound for this?
20 to 25% return.
Right. And people were like, no, that's not right.
Yeah, we do. We get about a 20 to 25% return. So
people can't
for
believe
us,
that. It's unbelievable.
Right. Today we're using a $650 pound and then leftover shake. We also have a $950 pound. So when you think of it in those terms,
that's unheard of.
That's accessible.
It's a crazy number.
It took us a little while to be able to get a price like this, but when you have people in your circle, you let them know, dude, my mother's fighting cancer. I want to make this for them. If you're not a scumbag, you're going to get that person will sell you a pound at more of a cost. It's not recreation, it's medicine. Basically someone saying that nah, man, I don't think you should help your loved one at cost. I want to upcharge you for that. And that notion in and of itself is so fucked up.
So you're going to teach people how to make this. You're going to give away the secret recipe that's going to help people save their lives.
That's the goal. The goal is to have this online.
Thank you.
So it's accessible so that you can go fuck, I want to try this as a mode of healing. Watch something, read a document, and be able to ask questions to all right, well, how do I do this? Because it's stressful. The first couple of times that I made this, it is so stressful. You're working with, $2,000 right here. What if you fuck that up? What's going to happen? I watched a video, but how do I know, how it's going to end? What's up?
Question. Can you maximize oil by boosting the humidity in the nugs?
No, the humidity in the nugs has nothing to do with the oil content, because the humidity has to do with water content, and what we're extracting is oil content. So even though the humidity in the nugs will make the nugs way more, right? I don't think that should affect the oil extraction.
Well, you were taking the nug before. You want a certain feel to it.
And actually, it's even better when it's dried out. Like
Yeah.
when it's really dry, it makes it easier to process. So with
Okay.
the,
Okay.
and a lot of it is, so the pound that we got hooked up, it was a really good price for someone because they knew we were making medicine. That was relatively fresh pound, right? That was fresh.
Yeah, no, that was a fresh pound. Like somebody was gonna actually sell that for like a profit, and was like, oh fuck, there's a need for it. Let me siphon it off. Like, being in and around the industry, like you know how much stuff costs. So like if you're on the end as like a dealer, like you're the gatekeeper. Like you can choose to tax it or not. Like we do. So like my whole thing is, if you need it for medicinal and you can't afford it, it's a cost. Like that's how much it costs. Like it's, I'm not at a point in my life where I can donate it for free yet, but that's the ultimate goal. And there are people too who like, you know what, hey, I also want to use this, but I am well off. And like, it's like, look, then donate.
And also, part of what makes this method superior, in my opinion, but also, as a side note, the shake that we're putting in addition to the fresh pound, is all stuff that was literally just at the bottom of bags. If a person has a bag of weed, whether it's an ounce or a pound, right when they're done with that bag, there's shake at the bottom. Dust, keef, stems, leaves, whatever. Also, all the stems from your joints and bowls and blunts that you break up, and you should save those stems to use for RSO. Those stems have good oil resin, glands on them. But all of the shake that we're using is literally just the bottom of bags, accumulated over time. Big bags and little bags. So a lot of that is actually really high quality shit, like not $650 pound stuff. Some of it, is $3,000 a pound or more.
Whoa.
Like that's retail crazy expensive, good, really good weed. The average price of anyway, so that on one hand is a source of material to make medicine from. At the end of your bags, you have, what are you gonna, like, I know people who are like, nope. I know people who share weed with people, and they make sure that they sprinkle a little bit of the shake into every bag they give people, so that at the end of their bag, their big bag, they don't have any shake left. Well, that's great from a business standpoint, but what is it? And ends up being what, a half ounce maybe in a pound, an ounce max. If it's more than an ounce, you should complain to your guy. But that's at the end of the day, if you just didn't sprinkle that into your ounces, you would just accumulate that over and over. Every bag that you did, you would have that. So technically, would that affect your bottom line? A little bit. But if that's your business, you can probably afford it.
Okay.
So that's another source.
No, if,
and then,
if
and
that's
also,
affecting your bottom line to the point where that's hurting you, like, are you doing business right?
I mean, right is but also on top of the fact that it's good weed and it's coming from the bottom of bags, it fortifies the RSO. It's high THC. At the bottom of these bags, it's high THC. Like, it's basically just keef and shake. And that also goes into the quality of the end product. Because,
Back to the stickiness issue.
Yes.
The drier it is, the less sticky it is, correct? He noticed when he cut his plants, they had more humidity, the buds were stickier, and when he dried them, they became less sticky. Does the stickiness matter?
I mean, yeah, but
Does that?
So, like, yes, there is a point, but, like, if your weed is so wet that you wouldn't sell it to someone, then, like, that's not going to be okay. And on the other end, like, if your weed is all super dry to the point that it's over that 50% humidity level, then, like, yeah, you won't have that sticky. So, like, At that point, you're getting more THC out of your pounds than you are oil when they're over dried. You have lost some of your stuff. But at the same token, if it's too wet, it makes it a problem extracting the oils with alcohol.
So drier the better for extraction, pretty much.
Well, no, you want like smokable.
Smokable.
Like essentially like the wetness that you would smoke it is ideal. It can be drier than that. If it's at a point that it's crumbling, yes, you can't tell how sticky it is. So like that method's not going to work for that. So, it's unfortunate that like, so there is a way to test this, but I obviously don't have that machine. If you had that, it wouldn't really matter. Like you could essentially run it through. Well, actually, once New Jersey has like testing facilities open, you could go and have it tested here, and like that would be an acceptable, or actually the best way to have it done. But how realistic is that? Like, okay, hey, let me borrow some of this pound and take it to my chemist and see what's in it. Like, I don't know how realistic that is for the industry. A lot of times, it's like, well, you want this or not. So like you kind of have to be able to make that call on the spot. So this is the best way that I've found to be able to make that call. It's like, all right, if it doesn't pass that test, then it may not work. And if it doesn't work, that's not okay, because I've had pounds that I spent like $1,200 on and got like a 22, 23 gram return. And like, you want to cry. Like that's when you have it's actually cost you $60, $70 a gram to fucking make it. And like, that's understandable. But like at this point, I've done it enough and know that like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it really, really works. And that's why this information specifically needs to be out there. Like the information that's out there is wasteful and doesn't really have a good return rate. Like you're way overheating stuff. So like, let's start the next step, and then we can go back a little bit, because with every step there's a bunch of waiting.
Okay, good. Yeah, Chuck is calling you guys a bunch of nugget nerds.
I will not deny that.
Okay, this is dry ice. What is it? Oh, wow, look at this.
So dry ice is negative 160 something degrees, negative 100, negative 400. I don't know. Lefty, can you look that up? I don't have it in front of me. It's cold. If you grab it with your fingers, it will stick to your fingers and freeze or burn you. Not cool. Don't touch it. Basically, it is frozen CO2. It's CO2 at a solid state. So whenever you're working with it, you want to have an open window and some ventilation. We work with it right next to a fan that's sucking out, and we have a cross window open so that it's pulling in the room.
It's negative 109 degrees Fahrenheit.
Negative 109 degrees Fahrenheit. There you go. Cold enough to burn you.
Wow.
So first thing we're going to do is start to cool down the weed. So we're just going to dump some in. This is This is 40 pounds or 20 pounds? I think this is 20 pounds.
So now you're not going to use gloves, nothing like that. But should other people use gloves when they're doing this kind of stuff? Because I'm just saying.
I'm not going to touch it.
I know.
I'm not going to touch it.
I'm afraid you're going to touch. I'm afraid for you.
Oh.
I don't want you to hurt.
If you wore, I do have silicone gloves here that sometimes
there you
just
go.
regular. Like the reason this is here.
This is what we should be using.
It's about 25 pounds for $25.
Okay. So the thing is, for this to touch dry ice, it needs to be clean. Like I use this in the kitchen to cook stuff. So like I wouldn't directly touch the dry ice. When we have it in the bag, sometimes you want to kind of sift it around. As you'll see, once we start to use the dry ice, everything will be frozen. Every surface will have like a coating of ice on it. So the side of the metal, the side of your glass, the side of whatever is going to start to have that. Okay. So we're going to start dumping some in, and I'll use half of this in this entire process, but I always have extra just in case.
Can you give this microphone to, oh jeez.
It was weird this time. Look at this. What's weird? It's like the bottom of the bag. There's a lot of,
Yes, it was the bottom. It was the bottom of the box.
That's why it was so cheap.
No.
No? It's the same price.
I mean, I had to argue him down a little bit because he didn't really know how much it cost.
I'm not sure, Mike.
Oh yeah. As I move around. As I move around and my various mic requirements, the logistics of me.
All right, so as soon as we add the ethanol to this, it's basically going to start, the CO2 is going to start to boil. It's going to turn from a solid into a gas. This is why I'm using such a large bowl, because like it's really going to like bubble. Part of the bubble is the agitation as well. So like as the CO2 escapes, it bubbles and it's moving everything in the liquid around. So like agitation and cold is what we're using really to like enhance the ethanol extraction.
Yeah, agitation and cold is what ice water hash, is requires to make its hash. But the difference is we're using alcohol and CO2 for the ice instead of water. Like a mad scientist. Spooky.
Nice.
Chris, can you put it over the top? Wow. Look at that.
Cool, right?
Super cool.
So you can blow the smoke away, helps a lot.
Wow.
I guess I'm not better in my back.
Look at that. That is amazing. So this is why we use dry ice. Look at this. Quite a few reasons why we use dry ice. It's an extra step, but hey, man, is it cost effective? How much is dry ice? Did you say that before?
$1 a pound?
$1 a pound, and how much is that?
This was $25, so about 25 pounds.
Okay, $25.
I was like, he's like, hey, $50 for the box. I was like, right, this is about half that. He's like, all right. So how much? He's like, I don't know. It's like, we got a scale? He's like, nope. I was like, well, okay, well, 20 pounds? He's like, how about $25? I was like, sure, man. Sure.
Did you grab me the other one?
Other one what?
Where's the bottle? There's the third one. 1, 2.
Oh, the third one, fuck, is in my car. You need that right now? No.
Pouring more Everclear in there.
You might need another bottle.
So, maybe explain how you know how much to use the liquid, how much Everclear you need to use.
So you want everything to be covered. You want it to be at a level that like there's no dry weeds sticking out of the top, but there's no need to go crazy. Essentially what's going to happen is like you're not going to super saturate the alcohol. You don't have enough for that. So by doing it this way, you're saving alcohol. At the end, whether we did this or extra alcohol, you would have the same product. It would just take you longer to evaporate the alcohol off. Also, the way that we do it with an air still, which we'll show you later on, we're going to get about a 75% return on our alcohol. So like, or a 25% loss really. Versus like this right now, there's like $140, $150 of alcohol here on top of the weed. So like that does add up if you need to make it a bunch. That's why I'm using the air still. You get like it evaporates and then condenses the alcohol.
So it recondenses it back into liquid so that you can use it again. That's why it's worth it to invest in an air still to make it. Most people who make RSO, oh geez, look out. Most people who make RSO use a crock pot or a rice cooker or something like that.
And why is that a bad thing?
Well, it's less accurate. It doesn't. It's not made for evaporating liquids. Like it's made for cooking rice. An air still is specifically designed to evaporate alcohol in order to bring a liquor down to the alcohol percentage that you want it at. So it's for making liqueurs. Yeah.
Okay, adding more dry ice.
So you keep an eye on, and as your dry ice starts to get, like, it'll evaporate, so it starts to get smaller like any ice. I'll keep it in there to make sure that this whole time it stays at this temperature. When it starts to get hotter, you'll start to leach chlorophyll out of it. And the chlorophyll, while it doesn't really harm anything per se, it burns. It burns when you cook it. It's disgusting. It makes it not very viscous. It makes it taste really bad. And then you can't actually dose it properly. Like, you have a large substance in there that's basically taking up some of the weight by volume that isn't THC and isn't other cannabinoids that's useless for you as far as your healing. So, like, dosing it makes it that much harder.
Well,
so when you do it another way and you buy a gram, you're probably not getting a gram of RSO. You're getting, something close to that, and then chlorophyll in there, depending on how much it was burned.
Well, let's not disparage the healing qualities of chlorophyll. But yeah, when you burn it, I'm sure that whatever's good isn't really there anymore. Like, they make chlorophyll supplements, so you can take chlorophyll.
They're really excited about the air still, so we'll get to the air still, fellas. That's it. I know I'm excited too about that one. What is that?
That was another one of the secrets from the mad scientist. Friend.
Oh boy! See,
She's brilliant. She was like, all right, She basically took the existing RSO recipe, which everyone basically knows. You take alcohol, cannabis, heat, and you end up with goo. So she refined that really well at every stage, tried to figure out how to make it the best.
Wow!
And then Jason took those ideas, and then went even further.
So this is the air still. It's made by Still Spirits. Ooh. It's about $220. You can get it on Amazon. It's Prime as well, in case you have that. It comes next day. So we're kind of building our list of purchasable stuff to be accessible all through Amazon. Unfortunately, as much as I want to hate them sometimes, it's not necessarily realistic for you to go to like 18 different science websites and get stuff. Like, I want this to be as convenient as possible, because I found that people will try to come up with any excuse to not try to treat themselves. And like, I did it to myself. It's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be fucked up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And really it came down to like, I waited till I was so fucked up I couldn't function. I was like, what else do I have to lose? And I don't want it to be like that for other people. Like, how many times I've heard someone say, like, dude, like, after I started taking it and had a regimen, like, this is the first time in my memorable life that I've been able to function. Like, you shouldn't have to wait to a point where, like, you're like me, and I laid down on a couch for 5 months. Like, I was up all night in the bathroom in pain for the next 12 hours. I'd have, like, 1 to 2 hours of workable, like, time where, like, I was okay during the day, and then it would just start over again. That was 5 months before I started this. And, like, I've been, like, around this industry for over 20 years now. Like, I'm mad at myself that I didn't do it sooner, and that I didn't get this information out to other people sooner. But here's the air still. So the air still makes wine, or makes liqueurs.
And this particular brand of air still happens to heat evenly and heat at the right temperatures compared to other air stills that are on the market.
Yeah, so there are other air stills that are digital and fancy and all this other stuff, and they say don't do any kind of extracts in.
We're not
and, like,
sponsored.
They don't work. Like, I had a friend who, like, I explained to him how to make it, and he thought that, oh, well, I know better. Okay, dude, buy all the stuff that you want. I don't care. Like, I gave you the information. Do what you got to do. Like, it's your loved one you're trying to save. And it destroyed it. It burned the hell out of it. He didn't follow the process, and he had to come to me for remediation. And it was salvageable, but at that, like, I salvaged some medicine out of this pound where it's like, I do it this way because I know it to work. So, like, and, like, when I first started, it did not work as well. Like, this was, like, a kind of learning experience.
It's like any other, if you can leave ego and pride out of it. Think of it as an apprenticeship, like any apprenticeship where you would start to learn a process. They would basically say, forget everything you've learned about this and start from the beginning the way that we do it here. Think of like a kung fu dojo, you know what I mean? Or, a guru in the mountains to teach you yoga, or meditation. Like, it's that kind of apprenticeship. Like, you're learning a craft, and there's a reason for every step. And
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on now.
yeah, there's a reason for every step, and it's not feasible to literally describe every step ahead of time and all the reasons. You just kind of have to trust that this is an expert method, and that if you follow the method, that you'll have the result that we're talking about. Once you do that a bunch of times, of course, if you can make it better.
So I want to show you the side of this is the air still. So it's going to pull up. It's going to heat at the bottom, pull the vapors up with this fan, and then recondense all the alcohol in this tubing here, and then drop it out the front. That's really the process that's saving you the money on the alcohol is all this top piece. And then this, it's a one-button system. So you plug it in, and it goes. That's it. And when it's done, it stops. It couldn't be more simple. If you need to run it again, you hit one button on it, and it'll start processing again. That's it. So a lot of times, we'll have more alcohol than fits in here. So I'll run it about halfway, shut it off, add more alcohol, run it to where I need to, and so on. Really need to just get more air stills at one time would be the solution, but... So now the ice is going to be in there for about 30 minutes this time. Then we're going to filter it and do it again.
Okay.
And you got to mix it. That's why 2 people is nice.
Seth packed the king palm. He's settling in. Relic just packed the bong. Okay, we should have a true pot craft workshop. Kind of monks doing charity, making concentrates and growing plants instead of writing coping books.
Yes, no, you're totally right. However, I bless you. I would say that the growing plants part, you don't dive into that depending on your state. So we're talking about New Jersey. I wouldn't start growing as part of your religious thing if you were going to challenge the law, because that's what gets every religious use in every state in trouble, is growing when they don't establish a personal use precedent first. Every single state.
Oregon?
Oregon, California, Hawaii, Colorado. There are religious cannabis institutions all around the fucking country. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but the case law is about all the... When you grow, you're skipping steps. In terms of the laws that you're breaking in the eyes of the state. When they look at you and they say, okay, this guy's breaking the law, or this organization is breaking the law, how many laws are you breaking? If you're going all the way up the chain, you're trying to go for the jugular and grow it and distribute it for religious purposes, you're ethically correct, but you face a really uphill battle in terms of court precedents. So yes, we should definitely start a religious monk cannabis medicine making collective. We should definitely do that. We should just make sure that we use all of the case law history at our fingertips to make sure we do it right.
It's right here in Scripture. All sorts of trees for food will grow on both banks of the stream. Their leaves will not wither, nor will their fruitage fail. Each month they will bear new fruit, because the water for them flows from the sanctuary. Their fruitage will serve as food, and their leaves for healing. Leaves for healing. Talks about it in the Bible right here.
What's
Ezekiel 47:12.
What was the one? Was that James, the one that bring the healing of the oils of the elders of the churches?
That's a good one.
That one is so direct. That one, you could put that on a T-shirt and just heal everyone.
There's one more leaves of healing. Check this one out. Revelation. On both sides of the river were trees of life, producing 12 crops of fruit, yielding their fruit each month. The leaves of the trees were for healing of the nations. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. The recipe for hash oil.
What was the one in James? Is that 5:14?
That's like my favorite. This one here is there anyone sick among you? Yeah, like everyone here. Let him call the elders of the congregation to him and let them pray over him, applying oil to him in the name of Jah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's literally what it is. So my understanding of religious cannabis use in the context of Judeo-Christianity, especially in Christianity, because it comes out of Judaism, but in Christianity, it's literally that passage. I would put that at the very top. I mean, in terms of applied religion, if you want to call it that, right? Like, right? So Jesus said, God is love, right? And then, the Dalai Lama said, my religion is kindness. So healing people with the oil of the tree of life sounds like the best way to live that life.
As it gets low, we add more.
Wow, this is amazing. It just keeps going. And look at the sides there too. The sides are all like.
We got to
frozen
keep.
up. Look at that. Wow.
You got to keep the temperature low to keep the chlorophyll extraction at where we want it.
This is amazing.
Also,
So today we got the small pellets. We normally get the larger pellets, so like we'll need to actually use more of these this time just because they evaporate quicker. Not that we need to use more than this whole thing, but normally they're about like a nickel thick in diameter and about that long, like 2-3 inches long, where these ones are like the thickness of a dime and maybe half that length.
my bad.
Not at all.
Wow.
I brought some of the African,
Oh, is this that
the Nepalese, Nigerian, Afghani cross. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you roll this?
No, I'm going to. I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll just this, like by itself, with it.
Please.
Adam, I have a question.
Yeah.
Religious question. How come Christians don't celebrate the holidays that Jesus celebrated?
Jesus wasn't a Christian.
Right, he celebrated all the Jewish holidays. How come Christians don't celebrate all the Jewish holidays that Jesus celebrated?
Because he created a new contract with the believers, basically. Well, I mean that's what they said after he died, right? He didn't say that.
He didn't say not to go to my holiday. Like he
No,
was
he
celebrated Rosh Hashanah, right? He would celebrate Yom Kippur.
He would say
right?
you would assume he celebrated all the Jewish holidays. He was technically a rabbi, but he was a rogue rabbi.
Right,
You know, he was trying to.
Radical rabbi. Yeah.
I mean, my reading of all that scripture is that the Jesus of that story was an oil healer who correctly interpreted the Torah and the Exodus, where it says that. Well, I mean, like they knew what was in the holy anointing oil. It says in Exodus in the original language, that it's hash. Hash is one of the ingredients. So we know that it was a medical cannabis compound used in religious context. And so he would have known that just like anyone else that was involved with making the oil. Now, maybe not every single rabbi was making the oil. Certainly the long-haired hippie rabbis are the ones living in the desert, tripping out on plants. Those were the ones probably... well, I mean, like, so there were those. They were the Essenes. They were the desert fathers, right? So some Jews went out into the desert and learned from the desert fathers, and then came back. That's one of the theories. That's one of the theories about Jesus, was that he had done so, or there are other theories that he had gone to India and learned from Buddhists, all kinds of stuff. But
Here's a question. All right, here it goes.
What was the question?
While most Christians believe that moral laws, such as the Ten Commandments, still apply, They still believe that ceremonial and civil laws do not, which includes keeping kosher, mixing fibers, and observing festivals, including Yom Kippur. So it says some Christians observe Yom Kippur, despite... Whoa, what the...
Well, sure. Like that's up to them. If anyone who wants to enrich their cultural, religious heritage by celebrating more of the holidays, God bless them. But there's a lot of...
Interesting.
Mainstream Christianity is not like whatever original Christianity was, So we're far removed from it. So people can be forgiven for not knowing that cannabis is in the Bible. People can be forgiven for not knowing that, like mainstream Christianity is far from what, Jesus said, and what the original Christians, who we call Gnostics now, Like, it was only the people who came after them who said, hey, everyone that basically knew Jesus, you're all wrong. The Gnostics, said that worshiping a dead person, was nonsense, and thinking that he came back to life was nonsense, and that it wasn't about that. So, there's a lot of different perspectives historically for us to, whichever one vibes with you, as long as you're a good person, what's the problem,
This is super cool to watch.
So how long does this take now? This takes... What are we waiting for? We're still evaporating.
So it's 30 minutes inside of here. There's another 10 minutes left in this.
Okay.
And then it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to do the filter, and then we'll do that again.
Okay. Cool. Wow.
Super cool.
I'm learning a lot, and I'm glad it's on video, so whatever I forget,
You always can go back. You can always go back.
But this isn't the video. This is just a podcast about... This is practice.
This is the video before the video.
Yeah. There's a real video coming out that's going to be...
You're making a video.
So I hired a film crew, someone to edit it. I'm now looking for a location, and then I'm going to film like an actual like nicely produced how-to video that goes through all the points versus me smoking and running back and forth up here, like having an end all. Like all you have to do is watch this video and you'll know how to make it.
That's cool.
And like with that, I'll have the links for everything that we use and a frequently asked questions that comes up with like some of the questions you might have before, during, and or after. Because it's kind of a big step for a lot of people. Like everyone's like the same question everyone has: how fucked up am I gonna get? Am I gonna be able to work? And I hear this so much. It's like, well, no, you are not going to be able to work in the beginning. You are going to be fucking high, like really fucking high. But that will taper off in a little bit. And when you think about it in the terms of like, how well is your quality of life right now? Why are you worried about going to work? Like, you need to put things into a different kind of perspective. Like, should I go to work and make somebody money? Or should I not die? Should I get better quality of life? Should I not be in pain? Like those things, like which is more important to you? Like I understand like financially, like, yeah, like you might take a hit, but like you can work yourself to death, especially if you have some kind of chronic illness. Like it's not getting better, so you should actively do something to help. So like when you've made that decision, when you decide that like, hey, this is what I want to do, and then the information isn't there, like it's a big slap in the face, then you lose steam. So like for those people who like, look, like I want to seek this out as a mode of healing, like this information will be at their fingertips for free.
James wants to know, what power is the distiller?
Regular 110.
Is that the power? I think he wants to know maybe voltage or wattage, maybe.
I mean, you have to look at the specs.
You could look at the specs. It is Still Spirits Air Still. They make one.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I don't have the box on me.
Still Spirits.
Yeah.
Air Still. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why this one is used. Oh shit! I'm spilling weed.
Is there a wattage?
No. The reason why this one is used is because our friend had experimented with different kinds of air stills before she landed on this one.
Oh, right. So this is the one that was...
Yeah, this is... You actually... I mean, again, I don't know all the details of the specs of it, But
A lot of R&D went into this recipe.
oh yeah, like I said, like a lot of people have put, like we learned from other people. We took what they were doing and made it better. And some of those people had done that exact same thing previously. Took what they saw and made it better.
So what's going on over there in that bag?
This is the Micron filter bags.
So these are the Micron filter bags. I use a 160 micron and a 45 micron for the first two filters. Having the two together creates a little bit of space because otherwise you have the big stuff getting jammed up with the small stuff. There's like a little silt. It's the stems from the trichromes that gets left over. And if you do not filter that out, it will not only burn, it will clog up any syringe that you're trying to suck it out of. And that's one of those like, oh, fuck, the first time I made RSO, I wish I had known that. So like at some point there will be a secret filter. And the secret filter is basically just don't touch it for like 20 minutes and then filter it out, pour the top off and dump the bottom, which will happen after we filter it twice. Also, when you're working with this much, if you lose a little bit, if you spill a little bit, you don't put every nug in, you're making so much that it's negligible. Like I remember like freaking out when like I poured some, like the quality of like 2 cups or a cup of the alcohol, and I'd pour it and, get like really annoyed at it. But like, you didn't really lose that much. And there is always that learning curve. Like now I use huge bowls. I used to use smaller things. Like I used to use something more like this. You can see the difference in sizes of these two guys. Like, if you don't do it exactly right, it'll boil over. Like here, I'll show you so these are 5-gallon filters. Let me go grab the old filters that I used to use. It's laughable.
I'm not laughing.
Not yet.
All right, fine. This is really cool. I'm geeking out, and I don't even know what's going on. I'm just like watching in amazement here. Mad scientists perfecting this recipe that's been perfected over time by actually religious people over time, right? These are like spiritual people, right?
Who?
Are you talking about our friends up in Rhode Island?
Yeah, and Ellen. Yeah, they figure. And she's our friend. She's the one who's she's a genius.
Right.
So she. They have a ministry up in Rhode Island, and that was the reason why they had to figure this out. Like she had to troubleshoot the recipe, so that she could, make hash for for people who needed it. People would come to her for healing. She would make holy anointing oil. She would make RSO. She would make. One of the first people that I helped with cancer with RSO was with them. They helped. They knew someone named Chip, who was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreas cancer, and he went through chemo and radiation and surgery, and they couldn't get it all, and they were just like, all right, go home, put your affairs in order, and get ready to die within the next 6 months. And he went to Ann and Alan at the church, and then they came to me, and I gave them a donation of hash, and then they made holy anointing oil and caramels out of it, and gave it to this guy. And cancer is, how much cancer you have is determined by this number in your blood. Your number. Everyone with cancer is, they're paying attention to their number. And his numbers went from, however many digits they are when you're dying of pancreas cancer, they went down to nothing. And he was effectively cancer-free. And when he didn't have access to good cannabis medicine, his cancer would come back. And when he had access to good medicine, his cancer went away. The problem with having conventional treatments like chemo and radiation is that it kind of fucks up your body's ability to fight cancer, which is kind of counterproductive, right? But I assume everyone here knows that chemo doesn't really cure anything. It just lets you live 6 months to 2 years longer in pain. Anyway, so anyone who has taken chemo or radiation and wants to use cannabis for healing, for beating their cancer, will almost certainly need a maintenance dose the rest of their life to keep their cancer away. Because that all the anecdotal evidence suggests that. But so he tragically was not able to get a consistent amount on supply, and when he would run out of the good stuff that he would get from the church, he would go to his local dispensary, who overcharged him, and it wasn't as high quality. And his cancer would come back, and he just. I guess your body can only do so many of those up and down, cancer coming and going and coming and going before it doesn't help anymore.
Does the dispensary use full spectrum or distillate or isolate?
I mean, well,
That makes a difference, right?
yes, but also, so think about it like this. Jason was talking about this before, is that when you go to a dispensary, even if they were making RSO at this quality, which they're not, but even if they were, they'd sell it for $100 a gram. Like we just met someone who said, well, I went to a dispensary and I got it for $100 a gram, so I was able to, I had to, eat just a little bit every day and ration it out. Well, you're not going to get enough to, every day to heal yourself if you have to ration it out. So, getting in a dispensary, it just won't work if you're trying to heal yourself out with cancer. It's too expensive.
You get an unlimited amount in New Jersey if you have terminal cancer. Unlimited amount of cannabis, legally.
At $600 an ounce.
Yeah.
And they can't supply it. so what's
but
the point?
I think it's funny that they can't supply it, but they're all saying that they have a bulging supply to be able to open for rec, so please give us a license. Where it's like, wait, but you're putting a limit on medical patients.
Yeah, well, business is business.
You can grow weed for money and for fun in New Jersey, but not for your cancer. Like you can literally grow weed for fun.
Well, what we should really do is...
But not a cancer patient.
So you want to know how to do it in New Jersey? So I would consider myself not an expert.
All right, Adam, let's do the next step.
Shit. Hold on a minute.
Oh, take the call on the air. This is great. Anyone good?
So we're gonna start filtering it now.
Okay. Take your mic with you, Adam, please. Or work that mic over here. I'll hand it to you. No, it's a long one. I need the long cord. Yeah, the one with the long cord. Just take it out of the thing. Thank you.
Thanks.
There we go. Yeah, this is the longest cord we have, I think. Oh man. Yeah, this is like this is why my room's a nightmare. I have wires everywhere. All right, that's Adam's mic. You can take this over there with you. This will reach the other side of the table. There you go.
Yes.
I'm gonna do half of this into here, like with the cup, until I can put it into that one when there's less, and when there's less, remember that one just fits right in. So, but I gotta get some of this out first.
So it's going where?
All right, so you have to get that out now. Is that okay? He's getting it out. Hold on.
So we're gonna transfer it from here to these 5-gallon bags.
Okay.
I'm gonna start out with a 4-cup measuring thing that's made of glass, and get that down to about halfway.
Can you put it inside? I want to see what it looks like now.
Then I also have a smaller bowl.
Look at that.
That once there's a less of a level, I'll pour that into this bowl. This whole bowl fits in the top of the 5-gallon thing. Just makes my life a little easier.
Look at the cloud. Swirling cloud.
That's about it. Look at that. Oh, man. Wow, look at it. It's boiling. Look at that. Oh, wow. Whew. And it's dripping down into the other one now?
Yeah.
Mikey, can you see it dripping in the other one?
No, it won't reach.
Oh, it won't reach.
Kind of see it.
How about now? Try it now. No? Oh, never mind.
Quickly, turn its head.
You can see it.
There you go. That's good. That's good. Oh, man. Wow. And that's still, you can't touch that.
No.
At all. No.
It's cold.
It's super cold.
Damn cold.
What's the temperature at it now? It's still the same?
There's snow coming off of it.
It's Whoa. Whoa. Amazing.
I can feel cold
Yeah, I
just coming in.
It's just for right now. Just make sure it doesn't touch. You have to hold it. You have to hold it.
Wow. And do you squeeze the bag at all at any point, or
Yeah.
yeah?
But we gotta redo this setup first.
Okay. So it's kind of hanging. Show it how it's hanging there, Mikey. Look at how it's hanging. Like show the hooks, or whatever it's hanging. Yeah, the clamps. Yeah, it's kind of clamped on there. There's clamps on there. What's the clamps for?
The clamps. The clamps is for. Oh, that's what we did, Jason.
What?
You clamped it?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, see, the clamps have a purpose. See, here, this is why we're rehearsing. The clamps are holding the bag. Look at that. Oh, cool. To keep it from drooping? Is that what you're doing? Oh, look at that. Wow.
Good call. I totally forgot.
I was like, something's not right here.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably the hardest thing to find is some kind of.
Talk into that one. What?
That's probably one of the hardest things to find is something to hang the bag from because it is heavy.
Adam, I still need you.
How heavy is that? How heavy is it?
Okay, no. Adam, I need you to switch sides. I need you to hold it.
Oh my.
Just do it at the beginning.
Okay, you can put it down, Mikey. Thank you. Oh yeah, give me a good shot there.
All right, I'm gonna pour this whole thing in, Adam. So I need you to kind of.
It is still
Wide
boiling.
berth
Oh man. What's it look like in the bowl? Can you see the bowl?
Whoa. Yeah, it's starting to swing.
Uh-oh. Yeah, the other bowl, the second bowl. Can you point it in that second bowl a little bit?
It's not gonna reach in front of you.
Oh. Yeah, that's it. Look at that. Wow.
That's what, dude. Watch out. Just watch out. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is on your checklist of mise en place. On your checklist.
Oh, is it supposed to be hooked under there?
No. Can you hold the back guy? Can you hold the back guy? I got it. I just need you to hold that. Yes, we put something on it, but it's also the wrong direction. That's how it's supposed to be. See how there's two on this side?
Yes. And one over there.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta go now. Okay. So that's holding it.
There we
But
go.
it needs the 2 feet.
Wow.
That's how it was before. Yeah. I didn't realize.
Hi, Wednesday.
Do it. I guess. Versus because we're gonna need them after this step, right?
We're gonna need them.
Yeah. We're gonna need them. We're gonna need them.
Look at it. Would you just look at that? Would you just look at that? Just look at it.
So coming out of there right now is the RSO inside the alcohol. Like right like that, you've effectively made a tincture. But for you to get the dose you would need to also consume like way too much alcohol. Like nobody's sitting there like, all right, I want to heal myself. I'm gonna take 4 shots of moonshine right now. Like, also this has been distilled several times. Like some of it has, some of it hasn't. But the more it goes through the air still, the more pure it is. Like the more pure alcohol you have. You're taking out some of that water content each time.
Okay. So when does that process start? After we have to filter all this out, and then what? That's the next process?
Yeah, we filter twice.
So we'll filter it twice. So we'll
Okay,
do this. This will take about another half an hour. Then we'll put it back into the bowl, soak it for half an hour, and then filter it again for another half an hour.
With a different bag.
What's that?
Same bag or different?
Same bags.
Same bags.
Same bags.
Same filter.
I also have a 25 micron bag, but that's for the very end. That's the secret filter.
The secret filter?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, the secret filter, which is not really a secret filter. It's just everyone wants, so here's why it's the secret filter. Everyone who wants to learn how to watch RSO stays for the first hour or two and then has something to do. So they leave, so it then became, well, you missed the secret filter. Like you left, so you didn't see it. So like that's where the name secret filter comes from. It's not a secret. It's just no one bothers to stay long enough to learn it.
So today's a 7-hour podcast. Welcome to the first 7-hour podcast.
Great way to do it. You know? It's a crucial step, probably too.
It is super. Well, this is what I was talking about. So there's like a silt in it, like the easiest way to describe it. There's like looks almost like wet sawdust at the bottom, and then that's some of the trichrome substrate. What happens is that burns, number one. So like your product smells burnt, tastes burnt. You have again something else in there that's not the actual medicine part. And then when you go to suck it up, it's going to clog the tip of your syringe. So, like, trying to dose things when it's not a syringe is not fucking practical. Like, not even a little. Like, you cannot make pills out of it. You can't, like, it's in a little dish that looks disgusting. Like, trying to be like, okay, I want a little bit. And, like, anything you put into it, some of it gets stuck to that. There's always a ton of waste. A syringe is really the only effective way to be able to dose it.
It's cool watching it do its thing inside that bag, all bubbling and dripping.
Wow. This is crazy. Here, can you see the bag? Look at this thing. The bag is bubbling.
And there's dry ice in the bag, so you're getting the same boiling that you were seeing in the bowls is happening in the bag while it's draining.
It's a reverse boil.
Well, no, it's technically boiling.
No, it's boiling.
Because the gas is going from... Well, I guess it's not boiling, it's sublimating. If it goes directly from a solid to a gas, that's sublimation. But if it goes from a liquid to a gas, that's boiling. So yes, actually, what's ending up in the bowl is just dissolved CO2 and alcohol and the oils from the plant. And then if you look closely, you'll see it's bubbling because it's technically boiling.
Learn today.
Science, man. I guess. I guess that's science. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm a college dropout.
So Lefty asked how heavy it was. I can't come to the mic right now. Lefty asked how heavy it was.
Grab the mic right there.
And I can
Grab
very
that mic.
easily tell you it's over. So Lefty was saying before, is it heavy? Well, it's at least 2 pounds because it has 2 pounds of plant material in it, and then 4 or 5 liters of ethanol in there as well.
And what are you hanging it from?
I don't know.
What should a normal person hang it from?
I think it's a plant hanger.
Plant hanger.
A normal person, it's a 3-foot science stand you would use. Like 6 foot is a lot more difficult. Like so, most people are not going to be doing it at this scale. Most people need a 3-foot like science thing. Like.
Wow, science.
Sure, we'll talk about this.
This is a great science class.
Where the heck is it?
Definitely.
Let's see if I can find this. Find the sample. They're gonna mute us in this. They're gonna mute us. Watch this. I gotta find this though. It'll be worth it. Hang on. Hang on. Nope, nope, nope. Where is it? Where is it? I can almost do this. I can almost do this.
For lunch? Yeah.
Oh man.
That you can't have breaded. You can't have any chicken. All the chicken comes from a bottle. Don't eat any of it because it's cross-contaminated. Vegetables with no kind of seasoning on it is really the only thing that doesn't, like, that it can be edible. Like, with my stomach, I couldn't eat anything from there even if I wanted to. And it's not because of the garlic and the onion. The Chinese place is right there, though.
Where does he do it? There's one part where he does it really good.
So yeah, this part just takes an incredibly long time. All of it is really just, it's a little bit of doing something, then half an hour, 45 minutes of waiting. A little bit of doing something, half an hour, 45 minutes of waiting. The end part of it, once we have it into the still, is the longest waiting part. It takes about 45 minutes to fill up a 8-ounce ball jar, and you'll do, 2 of those per liter.
Is there a microphone next to that dripping? Right next to it?
You can hear it.
I can hear it. Look, put that microphone right next to it. Put it right in there. Shove it in there. Listen to that. Oh, that's you can go to sleep to that. That'll put you to sleep.
Or to the
Here.
bathroom.
Oh, that's nice. Sample that for your phone. It could be anything really, but people like
It's got a nice consistency.
it's a water sound. People like water sounds, and it's like that's a thick water.
Yeah, it's really thick because of the temperature.
Oh, because
the temperature makes it
the temperature makes it thick.
So like science stuff.
Science, yeah.
Science stuff.
Science.
So as you heat something, the molecules in it begin to speed up. Whatever begins to expand. As stuff gets cold, the atoms begin to move less, and stuff begins to constrict. Why, they have to do roads with tar and stuff too to be able to have it expand and contrast because of the weather. Same idea. The molecules in the alcohol have become constricted right now, so they're thicker than normal. The viscosity of it is more tightly bound together.
Jason can't hear it, but I finally found it.
Science.
I had to go through the whole song. If I could see where he does say it, and I'm like, okay, he says it here. Let me get it right there. 59 seconds into the song, you got to do. Oops, I screwed up. See, it's not easy. I lost it already.
Science.
Okay, every time you say something smart, I'm going to play that. Say something smart again. I dare you. He's working. He's like a mad scientist over there. This is amazing. And this is for free. This is for patients to learn how to do this yourselves.
So one of the things that I'm doing is creating a little bit of space in between the two filters. So there's going to be the larger particles get stuck in the top one and take longer to come through. So ideally, we want to filter it through the smaller one. So this way, we're getting most of it out of the way before we hit the smaller screen. When I was running it with just one screen, it takes 2-3 times as long. When I first started doing this for myself, it would take me 16 hours to go from start to finish over 2 days, which obviously that's a huge undertaking. Whereas now it's 5 to 7 hours.
Wow.
Where's that from?
Thomas Dolby. What? Oh, if I play it, we're going to get... All right, I'm going to play it anyway. You never heard this? I don't think so. 80s, baby. I played that one song for you that you didn't know what it was. Remember that song on the way home from the Harvest Fest?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Murray Hill.
You can grab that mic back. It's good. Yeah, Murray
That was
Head.
Murray Hill, One Night in Bangkok.
Murray Head.
I'd never heard that song. Oh, Murray Head, yeah.
You never heard this?
No, I'd never heard Murray Head, though. That Murray Head song.
This one.
I have heard this.
Yeah.
I just don't remember the science part being in it.
With science.
Who sings this?
Thomas Dolby.
Really?
Don't mute me, Facebook. Please. This is important stuff here. Don't mute us. Oh, you used too much of that song. You're going to mute you now. Oh, come on.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing, all right.
Yeah.
That's happened to him.
Yeah, I was thrown in jail. Facebook jail for this. It's so stupid. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. Amazing. So this is the process that takes hours and, time consuming. But, patients could do this. This is your medicine. You can do this. You figure it out.
So if you're going to be getting like 60 grams or so, and your protocol for most people, we recommend like a gram a day. And that's like for like serious chronic illness that you're trying to get ahead of versus like maintenance or before, or maintenance after, or spot treating. At a gram a day, that's 2 months. So like at 60 grams, if you get more than that, obviously more. But, you're spending 1 day for, months of worth of medicine. Most people are not doing the gram a day. Like that was when I did protocol. Now I'm taking like 100 milligrams as just, maintenance stuff. At 100 milligrams, that's 10 days per gram. That's 600 days running a pound, if you're just using it for that.
How does FECO help you?
Like me specifically?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, so I have Crohn's and glaucoma. Both with like stomach cramping and stomach pain, also being hungry. Like before, like I'd be like, so in so much pain that like I wouldn't eat. Helps me sleep. But the biggest thing is like my stomach, like having to go to the bathroom from like 2 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the morning every 20 minutes or so, like is just awful. Like in the whole time you'd have like a minute of relief and then the pain would start again and then you'd have to go back to the bathroom. Then I would kind of like just be in pain, but wouldn't have to use the toilet anymore. And the next 5-6 hours would just be like a pain throughout the day that I would try to sleep through. The first time I made RSO and took some, like the night that I finished it, I took a little bit, and within 2 minutes, all my pain went away. Like I have never felt that again in 5 years. So there's that. I've never gotten to that level of sickness again, or even close. I have flare-ups twice in those 6 years, and it was just like, all right, I just got to be really careful. I can't eat anything fancy. And I also did an alkaline diet, which I think is really important to go with it as well. I found out too that so garlic and onions mess me up. So like I can't eat any garlic, any onion, and anything, like any powder, anything. Which is everywhere, which basically means I don't eat out. I eat pizza out. I go to a pizza place that I know uses fucking tomato sauce and no garlic. And other than that, I have like vegetable smoothies for 2 meals a day for about like 75-85% of my caloric intake in the week. It's not the funnest thing, but like I'm not fucked up anymore. So like whatever, like I actually enjoy it now. And then like every Friday night I have pizza. And that's how I like temper it. And then I have I get frustrated from having shakes because obviously it gets kind of boring sometimes. So my wife and I created a list of foods that I can, and I'm a chef and I get frustrated. So like created a list of meals that I like to make that will like what I call food wins. Like I'll tell my wife I need a food win tonight. Like I need like something that tastes really fucking good to like distract me from whatever I'm annoyed about or whatever. So like
it's gotta taste good. If you're gonna,
it's gotta taste good.
It's gotta taste good.
So like our thing on Wednesday, we're gonna do vegan döners or vegetarian döner. So a döner is a Turkish German kebab sandwich. Anyone who knows what dourners are knows that this isn't really true, but it's kind of like a gyro. Like, think of a gyro on steroids. It's like that. And then there's halloumi cheese. And if you've never had halloumi cheese, it is a Greek or Turkish type of cheese that does not melt. So you can deep fry it, pan fry it, throw it on a grill. Doesn't melt. It browns. It's so amazing. So I have like a fake meat that I season myself. Instead of going to a kebab place that has garlic and onion, I have to make my own seasoning. So I use like a salt and pepper, cumin, oregano, or a little bit of paprika. And then it's that fake meat, the halloumi cheese. I make like a fake sour cream dill sauce with it. Put a little bit of mustard in it because I can't have spicy stuff anymore. And then it's red cabbage, cucumbers, the meat and the cheese. I think that's it. And the sauce. It's fucking amazing. There's actually here. I'll show you guys.
Seth doesn't have Crohn's, but he has bad stomach problems. He can't poop in one sitting. I don't either. I poop like 5 times in the morning. And because it all doesn't come out at once.
Those are real dourners. Those are like in Germany having dourners.
Hold on. Let me see that.
Yeah, I'll show you.
I want to get that on the thing here. Hold on. Oh, right. The camera's right there. There you go.
So
Boom.
last time I was in Germany, we were there for 2 weeks, and I decided that I was going to eat doner 7 times, and this is the 7 doner challenge. I can no longer eat it like this. There's onions on this. There's garlic in that. So this is before that. But now I make my own version of it. But so you get an idea of like what a doner is. It's D, umlaut, which is the O with 2 dots over it, N-E-R. There's places in town. Like there's some in Haledon. There's a ton in Wayne. Like there are doner kebab spots. There's a really good one in New York City. But they're still not the same as like the New York or I mean the Berlin style like going to Germany getting it fresh. It's just ridiculous.
Wow. Cool.
That looks amazing.
Wow, yeah.
It's one of those life-changing meals. Well, like you eat it and then you're changed for the rest of your life.
Seth went to a gastrologist, and he got an acidic sheet on what's bad and what's really acidic. I guess you can't have acidic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alkaline diet is preferable for anyone with stomach disorders.
Right.
Obviously, it's not that doable for most people.
Yeah. Well, you made vegan pumpkin soup for us on Thanksgiving, which was amazing. No onion, no garlic, and vegan.
Yeah, it's finding workarounds. Like food tastes good. Like especially vegetables and stuff. Like they taste good in their natural state. It's just how to combine them to have an overall flavor profile that you're not used to. So like the beans that I used to make, like Puerto Rican. So beans that I used to make growing up can't really have that anymore. Onions, garlic, the whole 9 yards. So like I do like a red sauce with peppers, which is okay. But my new thing now is like I do a coconut sauce. So I use like coconut, black beans, pepper, and cilantro and corn. And just kind of do that over rice. And that's my new bean dish. So like I have things that mimic things that I want. It just may not be exactly what, I'm used to. So like, making that switch over, it takes a little bit. It's not the easiest, switch to have to be like, all right, I'm going to change my whole diet. People are like, how'd you do it? And I was like, it's really simple. I just completely changed my life. Like, I just said, well, fuck it. I'm going to do everything at once. And it worked. Which is why with stomach stuff, when I say you're taking RSO, I really recommend doing an alkaline diet when you start. It'll give you a little bit of perspective about what's going on with your stomach. It'll help the medicine work better and it'll allow your body to actually heal itself. On top of that, when you're done, what you do is you start introducing things back in one at a time. Kind of like the macrobiotic diet. They're very similar, but that one has grains and alkaline has no grains. You do this for 3 months and your system kind of resets itself. Now you can add so the first day I remember all right, I'm done with protocol. I'm going to have onions. And I got instantly fucked up. All right, I can't have that. And the next day I was like, I'm going to try garlic. Tried garlic, instantly fucked up. So I was like, okay, I can't eat those things. I could actually pick out which things I was eating that was making me sicker. So I had to cut all those things out of my, obviously, spicy stuff. I can't have anything spicy anymore. Like, too much black pepper might fuck me up. So, I went from being, super Spanish eating, everything, chicharron, fried pork, rice and beans, full fat everything, spicy, all, my whole fridge with spices, to not being able to have any of that stuff anymore. So it was a huge change, but when I look back, yeah, that tasted really good, but I was sick all the time. So like, I'd much rather be not sick. Is really what it came down to.
Yeah, every little bit helps. Me and Chris know about shaving pain points, so it's the same process. Shaving those points. Look, it's snowing on the side there. It's like snowing. But yeah, shaving those points, man. Just getting in a hot shower for me and doing some yoga. It's been like, that's good for a half a point in the morning. And right now I'm wearing a TENS unit, which is good for like a half a point. I'm shocking the hell out of myself right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to turn this thing up to 11.
Yeah, that thing helps, huh?
Oh, yeah, this thing is amazing. This thing is cheap. $60 for this thing. Woo. Life-changing. Okay, Seth is going to do the alkaline diet. Seth has acid reflux also, so yeah. Try it. And showers do help a lot. They sure do. For anything. All right. Jersey Joe, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You can make this.
I always tell people with the alkaline diet, like, it's a little bit much to take on sometimes. Like, it's a little overwhelming. Once you get into it for like 2 or 3 weeks, it kind of like, you kind of get a little used to it. But be as good as you can be. Like, I remember, I would have pizza every once in a while. I would freak out and be like, I can't eat another fucking quinoa plain in my life. And I would go out and have pizza that night. And then you know what? I would just start, and the next day I'd go right back to it. So like, my wife said I kind of went a little crazy about it. Like, I was really, really strict. I would recommend being that strict, but I understand too, like, not everyone has that perseverance to, like, or not like, it's not easy. So like, even a little is better than nothing, I guess is what I'm saying. So like, sure, you can do it. Like, and that's going to be the best. But like, if you can't do it all the way, like, do it to what you can. Another thing to do with the alkaline diet, get piss strips. Get little alkaline piss strips. When you wake up in the morning, your first pee on the strip and see where you're at. So like, hey, am I doing a good job? Like, there were times, I'd eat pizza and I'd still be alkaline, but I'd be less alkaline. Be like, okay, cool. I'm still in that area I want to be. I don't have to go anywhere crazy.
What's it called? What's it called? A pit strip?
Oh, alkaline test strip, but for pee.
Oh, piss
Yeah,
strip.
yeah, piss strip.
Piss strip.
Pee-pee.
Pee-pee strip.
Yeah, pee-pee strip. Yeah, and you just pee on that. But you want to do it with your first pee in the morning. Like,
The first run.
Jason, you need headphones. We're doing some funny stuff here. Okay, I'm queued up for the next time you say something intelligent, like piss strips or pee strips, whatever that was. That was a good one. I didn't know that was a technical term. It sounds like pee. It's
That's a heavy pee, though.
yes.
That's a dehydrated pee.
Yeah, something's a little wrong.
Something.
You should see a doctor.
Wow. So a lot of this time is just waiting, but you have to know what you're doing. But most of it's waiting and just patience, perseverance. Just hang out, roll a couple of blunts. Like right now, we should be rolling up a blunt. I have a box. I have a blunt. I have a box and a blunt. Hold on. Where's the box? Was the
I
box?
feel like it's over by you.
Yeah. I have a box and a blunt. So here's the box. Here's the blunt. Boom. And I got some sativa in here. Please take the little bud. Save me the big ones.
Mm-hmm. No blunts in the house, though. Oh. This is a tobacco-free area.
Okay.
There is a porch. So another thing. So I used to smoke cigarettes, like for 15, 16 years of my life, and then quit. So like that made a huge difference too. Like health-wise, like just like stopping that one. So like I don't consume any kind of tobacco anymore because like there's no reason to at this point.
Yeah.
Like for me.
Right.
So like I haven't smoked a blunt in years and years and years.
Wow.
Yeah, no, not at all. Oh, you remember when we had the picnic here, and you had asked me to get some blunts, and then they never got to you. I don't know if you remember that. Like I had picked up a pack of 3 or 4 or whatever they come in, and like I left them in my car. They went to a good home. I had someone at my house who only smokes blunts and was like, "Oh man, super like sad that he couldn't smoke." And I was like, "Yo, you know what? I got something for you." So I gave him the blunts that you paid for, and he was thoroughly happy. So they went to a good home. They were used well.
That was nice. That was a 4-pack. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
I remember
So-
that. I remember that.
I remember seeing it like 2-3 days later, like, oh yeah, Lefty wanted those. Well, fuck.
We got through it. Somehow we got through it. I don't know how, but we did.
I mean, every 10 minutes I was basically making you eat an edible. Like, Lefty, did you say you wanted another cookie? Did you need? By the end of the day, you were staring off into space, man. I don't think you needed any.
No. I think I ate like 3 of your cookies, maybe 4. And you only need 1. You really only need 1 of those. And they were all different. They were all amazing. What the heck kind of flavors you had going on? You had chocolate chip, regular chocolate chip, and then you had some kind of, was it marshmallow or something? Yeah, you had some marshmallow thing going on, and then some.
He had it like an experiment one
Some
too. That was really
crazy-
good.
What?
I forgot what that one was.
What the? With caramel, and then you had all kinds of.
So here, this is the menu from that day.
Oh, hold on. We have a. Cool. What's that? What's that say? Can you read it? I can't read it. Hold on. Organic chocolate chip cookies, marshmallow chocolate chip cookies, toffee crunch chocolate chip cookies, pudding Kit Kat chocolate chip cookies, vanilla bean Kit Kat chocolate chip cookies, strawberry Kit Kat chocolate chip cookies, maple Kit Kat chocolate chip cookies, everything chocolate chip cookies, raw cookie dough logs. Oh my God. 50 milligrams of shatter in each cookie. 50. I had 4 plus tincture plus whatever else was going on that day plus
Several gummies.
gummies. You gave me gummies also.
Well, your table was right next to ours, so it's just like, here, Lefty, have this.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Tree based. Can you see that? And fried unicorns. Presents. Is it? Wait, it's
So Adam is tree based, and I'm fried unicorns.
presents. Presents, or is it presents?
Fried unicorn presents.
Oh, it's presents.
Yeah. So basically, anything I do, fried unicorn presents it. That's just
Presents.
how I run it.
Okay. No, I thought it was presents. I really thought it was presents, like because it's present and gifts, like gifting. Is that what
Gotcha.
you got a double meaning there? You got gifting going on here, so it's presents, but you mean presents. It's like patience and patience having to have patience. You can go all day with this stuff.
Science.
All right. Don't mute me, Facebook. Don't mute me, Facebook. All right. Any more questions? Hi, Cindy. Good afternoon. We are making Fecco. Fecco is being made. It's dry ice is being filtered through a 25 micron. I believe you said 25, right? I think it was 25. Cigarettes cause me more acid. I could feel it. I know I have to quit, but I'm working on something else with myself first, or I would go crazy. Cigarettes. Ooh, yeah, that's a rough one. I don't smoke cigarettes. I just like blunts.
So I had for cigarettes, like I had yeah.
I'll break it over here.
Yeah, right at there. With cigarettes, what happened that I couldn't smoke? I got like sick or something. Like, I had gotten like a lung something, some kind of strep or whatever, and I could. No, you know what it was? It wasn't that. Sorry, I'm lying or thinking. Oh fuck! It's snowing outside, guys.
Yeah, really? Yeah, it is.
Is it summer yet? Fuck this.
Yeah, when's summer coming?
Oh, so I had to have, like, I was in a really bad car accident, and I was in, like, a wheelchair for, like, 8 months, and, like, couldn't really walk more than, like, 10 minutes. and like was really fucked up. Like was going to physical therapy, and like I couldn't feel my feet. Like my left leg would just give up. Like I had 3 discs bulging out, and they were
that's
2 of them were pinching different nerves. So I had surgery, and while I was in for surgery, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna quit. Like I can't smoke for several days because I was in the hospital. Like I'm just gonna quit. And the first 3 days were fucking terrible, and I was really pissy and angry. And like my wife just kept on sneaking me snack food, like whenever I wanted it to like get away with it. I had my my weed vape pen in the hospital, and I basically used like a weed vape pen, like a cigarette thing, would just puff on it till I was like retarded, and I didn't think about smoking a cigarette anymore. And I kind of like, it's breaking that associational habit. Like that habit that like I got in my car, I smoke a cigarette, or I got out of my car, I smoke a cigarette. I just had food, I smoke my cigarette. Cigarettes all about habits. It's all about like partitioning your day out for cigarettes. But once you don't have that, what do you do with that time? Like it's like an extra hour a day you're not smoking. That like you need to do something. That like you would basically just smoke a cigarette and do something. That was your break. That was your relief. So like you need to channel that energy to something else, and like that goes a big way, I think, to helping people smoke cigarettes. Is like, keeping your hands busy. Teach yourself a new skill, pick up meditation. Whenever you want a cigarette, like create new habits, and those habits will take about I think it's 10 days for habits to take effect. Where those become like, if you repeat it, it becomes a habit then. So like you stop doing that stuff and start doing something else, like it helps your brain break that cycle of like, oh, it's time for a cigarette.
Yeah, I stopped smoking cigarettes because I was in the hospital for so long in the ICU. And at that point I was like, why even pick it up again? And
yeah, you take that, that chance.
Yeah. And I have picked it up since, but only like 3 times. But those 3 times, I was like, dude, why did I even do it? Like, I feel so sick, so nasty. I smell nasty. My finger smells nasty. Like, but yeah, I just let it go right there because it was so long. That was like at least 3 months in the ICU, and then like going to like rehab and facilities where like I can't smoke anyway. So I just let it be.
And was this in the facility in where we went, where the container was parked in the handicap spot?
No, before that, I was when I was in Georgia, I went to a facility in Georgia, and then that facility in Georgia, I couldn't do anything, because they had where they went to restabilize my I guess my tailbone had gotten an infection, and that's why I have that back problem now with that wound. And that was like they had to cut me open bedside because it was so much. And like,
did you feel it when they cut you, or did they numb it?
No, it was just I felt it. They did that
fucking
bedside.
love medical incredible stuff. The human body is amazing. Like especially like pain associations. Like, not that I like pain, but like I've learned to deal with it both with my spine, tattoos, and modifications that I've done. But like I just so fascinated by like what like, did you ever think, 5 years ago you'd be in a bed and someone would fucking cut you open and you would just be like, all right, yeah, do it. Like,
yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, I even woke up in the middle of one of my surgeries.
Oh my God. I remember watching like my surgery, and the nurse was like, really? What are you doing? I was like, yo, dude, I want to know what's going on. I asked them, I was like, can I be awake for it? And they're like, no, you can't be. And I was like, well, that's stupid. I was like, you could put up like the thing. Like, I just want to. I remember I got like my toenail removed once because like I would get these terrible ingrown toenails.
Ow.
And the guy was like, I asked him to watch it. And like, so they like take about 1/8 of an inch off from the cuticle up and then put an acid in there so it never grows. But like, I had it done on both feet, and I would always make him let me watch. And he's like, dude, you're fucking weird. He's like, no one has ever asked me to watch that. I'm like, well, I'm not going to feel it.
Ouch.
Like, whatever, if I don't feel it. So yeah, super interesting. Please continue.
Hurts me. Listening to that hurts me.
Yeah,
Ow.
that's wow.
Hey, what happened with you? How'd you wake up in this? What happened?
I believe I was getting my nephrostomy tubes put in or something
What's
like that. They like tubes that go straight into your kidney. Because since my bladder was ripped, they didn't they it couldn't go through that. So bypass, yeah. So straight from the kidney. So I had two of them, and then just bags hanging on the side of my bed. And yeah, no, it was, and then yeah, I had a nice tube up my butt, and yeah, it was crazy. I was my hands were tied to the bed, because I was swinging at the doctors, and yeah, I don't know what was going on, man.
The tube up the butt sounds kind of fun.
Yeah,
my
dude, it was
God.
so annoying, and like I had to fight for them to remove it. Like it was just terrible. But yeah, and then waking up and then having the tube down my throat too. That was a crazy experience.
That
I woke
happened to
up
me.
and I wasn't supposed to be up. But then they're like, I was supposed to wake up when they were about to remove the tube.
Oh, and did you
type
start
of
pulling
thing.
it out?
So I was like, yeah, I'll start freaking out. And I'm just like, they're like, no, you need to stop. I couldn't breathe. I had a hard time controlling my breathing from only my mouth instead of my nose. Like, I had to, like, and I was, like, gagging on it. Like, it was just terrible.
Damn.
But,
Wow.
yeah. But the one on the back was, like, no anesthesia. It was, like, they had to do it right then and there because it was that bad. And then when they cut it, like, my back made a noise, like air was getting sucked back into it. Like, it was, like... Yeah, it was
Awesome.
yeah, and then like, and then
air.
Ouch.
my mom is sitting there. She's like right there. She was like looking at everything, and like she was like, her eyes were just like, holy shit, dude, like, what's going on? And then like when the doctors left and all that, there was like blood all over my bed and all that. Like my mom's like, oh my god, let me wipe this off. Like, yeah, it was crazy. It was some
Wow.
yeah. I hated that doctor, but you know it had to be done. Because they wouldn't my stitches were supposed to be removed, but they kept it there longer. Like I think it was a couple days, and then that affected it.
And that affected it. Oh,
Because I couldn't really move, like
Right,
You know,
right.
I had my pelvis just reconstructed, so I couldn't really move.
you're laying
like
on
I'm laying
that.
on it,
You're-
sweating on it.
What do you
and,
think's
like,
gonna
you know,
happen?
Yeah.
man. Yeah, bed sores, any all that stuff.
I was thankfully I didn't have to deal with bed sores, but a lot of along the way of my in the facilities I was in, there were people that I know that did have bed sores, and that was terrible. Like I've seen it. Like it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. But yeah, and then I went to Kessler. And East
What's
Orange,
Kessler?
East Orange.
What is
Kessler.
that?
It's like a facility where people have to rehabilitate.
Like an inpatient one?
Yeah. I believe Christopher Reeves used to go there, and like there's I guess his foundation now kind of like helps fund that place and all that. It's in East Orange.
Oh, Christopher Reeves was from this area, or that's just like the place to go?
I guess that's the place to go. He went there for rehab and stuff like
fuck.
that. Yeah.
If Superman goes there.
Yeah, right. And one of my doctors actually, I wanted to get on the program, to the medical marijuana program, and I couldn't because I was a facility, I guess that was funded by. So, but he did, like, as a point, he actually, like, with my mother in the room, told him, like, I think not only that your son would benefit from it, but a lot of my patients in any one of these floors would benefit from it. But it just sucked that he can't really help them to do it. And then and that was my issue along the way. And then my next facility was the same thing. I actually got kicked out my next facility because I was consuming.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
They took my pee while I was sleeping. Because when I was awake, and they could have, because all my pee just goes straight into a bag. I can't,
Yeah.
it's not like.
That's private property. Please stop touching my pee.
Yeah, and I told them, no, you cannot. And then they wanted to get my pee to prove a point that I was really using.
That's ridiculous. Here, I got something to interject real quick, if you'll allow me. I want to show you. So I purposely did two things, science stuff going on. So I purposely did two things to show you. When I talk about the secret filter, I'm talking about this sawdust type stuff that you're taking out of there. I let it dry in the other one, and I'm going to show you guys. kind of what it is, let you touch it and see what we're talking about. And then I also left a little bit of weed with the alcohol and no dry ice to let you see the difference in color between dry ice and not dry ice. And you can see what I'm talking about when I say the chlorophyll. So first we'll go through, this is the powder stuff. Yeah.
Let's go over to that right there. There it is. Okay, can you see that?
So it looks like keef. It is not keef. That is not what this is. But this is like well, actually no, this is keef. It's just keef without the THC that's in it. So this is the pieces that you're getting left over. Like this has no THC in it. It's not viable, but it's a powder. So like this will get clogged in your syringes and will also burn. So you do not want this in your stuff. All right. And now I'm going to show you this. So like if you look at what's coming into here, it's a yellowish green. It's kind of like a deep color. It's like a thick color. Versus this, I'll bring it over here. So this is with let me get that light again, Lefty. So with this, you can see it's way more green than the other stuff. This just a little bit, like the more you have, the more it'll soak into there. So like this is over green. You want it to be like a kind of yellowish color.
Sorry, I'm checking Facebook here. Science. Good stuff there. So we're just playing the waiting game. So we do have a blunt for afterwards, which is good. That'll be our after podcast blunt. Uh-oh. Seems dead. Great. Shocking.
Adam, can I have one of those?
I didn't know the honey badger had two different tips. One was a hot tip. One's a cool tip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one's a low tip. This is the low temp tip.
When did you find that out?
When I put the other tip on. And when I had to order a new one, you can order two types of tips. You can order a low temperature tip or a high temperature tip. Now that's a low temp terpy tip. Terp tip. That's the terp tip.
Just the terp tip.
And you guys are nugget nerds. Nugget nerds with terp tips.
That's nice, the low heat one.
That should be a name of a band. Nugget nerd and the terp tips.
Nug nerd.
Nug nerd and the terp tips. So
Nug nerd and terp tip.
Gladys Knight and the terp tips.
So we're almost done with this one, and then I will dump it out into the big bowl again and start again. The second one goes a little quicker. I find that if you do like a 30, 45 minute second bath of the material, you tend to get a little too much of the chlorophyll out as well. Like just at that point, the plant has been so saturated for so long. So the second one, like I really keep to like 30 minutes specifically. Then the filter, unfortunately, takes about the same. So one of the things we're doing too is we don't want to speed up the filtering. You want the filter to be this slow, otherwise, because it's still giving like the alcohol time to pull stuff out of the plant. And if you were to look in the bag, there still is dry ice in there that you can see as well. And I'll go till there's not really like a steady stream or like where it's just like a little bit of a pit and strip on there. I'll stop. But for right now, like we're still having good production, so we're still keep on going.
I'm gonna get going, guys. I gotta get going because Ken's doing me a cover up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't have it anymore.
All right, bro.
I'll say it at the shop. So. Thanks
Very
a lot.
nice to meet you.
For having me over.
Likewise.
See you later, Chris.
Yep. Take it easy, man.
Enjoy it, yeah. Yeah.
See, now you guys are in on the secret, or not if you leave.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll that African.
This is like my favorite thing I've smoked all Corona, to put a time frame on it. So like since last March, since 2 Marches ago, this is the favorite thing that I've smoked. Like the flavor of it, the high from it, just fucking great. It's a pure, or well, I gotta ask Adam. I don't remember what the hell it is, but Nepalese sativa,
Yeah, sounds good.
Landrays, Nepalese Landrace sativa,
Wow.
crossed with a Nigerian Landrace sativa.
Oh my.
It crossed with Afghani. It just like it has a very, very unique flavor to it.
Ooh.
It's just incredibly enjoyable. Like, and it's also a super fucking sativa. Like you want to go like, fix something after you smoke it,
It's
or like
kind of what I need right now.
I gotta try that.
if anyone needs, I do have yerba mate cans. If you need a little pick me up, it's caffeine drink.
I'm familiar with it.
Would you like one?
Yeah.
Well, now you're not gonna know whether it's the caffeine or the Nigerian sativa.
Nigerian sativa. I'd like to smell some of that.
You want berry or orange exuberance?
Orange exuberance.
My wife likes the berry one. It's a little sweeter. The orange one is a little more tea flavor.
I'll take the berry one.
Look at this here.
Oh no, that's the last one. You get an orange exuberance.
Wow.
Sorry, the last one. There'll be prices to pay.
Look at the big buds on this. Oh wow.
I wonder where it comes from.
Oh my.
Brazil. I don't think they can. That's not very good resolution. Anyway, let me roll it.
Oh my.
It does smell good, right?
Yeah, put it here. My goodness. Look at that thing. Wow. Wow. Big bud. Gotta love the big buds.
Yeah, I like big buds, and I cannot lie.
Chris, do you know what the back dildo thing is? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Just give me a second.
no one calls it that.
I guess, but I don't know what it's fucking called.
It's a back massager.
Big bud. I like big buds.
Now I know why you say.
So this, my friends, is a back dildo, as I like to call it.
Oh, whoa.
So like it has two pressure point ball stuff, so you can like work an area. But this little nubbin down here, so you can basically find like all those spots in your back that like are a little tight, like up in your neck, like, and you'll know when you get one. And you just sit there and you kind of just work. Oh God, like you always find stuff. It gets kind of like
Wow.
But like if you have something like up in like your shoulder or your neck that's bothering you that's tight, like this thing, like Amazon, $19,
What's it called?
a back dildo.
No, it's not.
You can't. If you search on Amazon,
No, it's
for back
not.
dildo, you'll get other.
I've ordered so many for people at this point that like it comes up on my like repurchase list on Amazon.
know what it's called though.
I probably should, but everyone calls it a back dildo that I know, so it just
Oh, this thing is amazing.
Oh yeah, so you find a spot, and as you start to work it and it relieves, follow it. Like follow it back up your spine to the nerve. Like you'll feel it start to travel. But yeah, $20 on Amazon. I'll find it out for you right now so we can tell people.
I like the two knobs right here, like for like full control. Oh, this is awesome, dude.
Oh yeah. We're not going to be able to stay for the secret recipe either. I have to bring Denise to the doctor's.
To be continued then.
So yeah, we'll do the second podcast when
When it gets time that we have to run down, I will mock finish it. Like I'll kind of show you like what we would do and give you an idea of like where it's going to end up. Honestly, how much longer do you have?
the most is I have to be in East Hanover by 2:30.
All right.
So you have to leave now.
So I have to pack up. I got to pack up and stuff too. But there is a couple of steps that we're missing, obviously.
Smoke this Nigerian sativa.
Yeah, I got a couple minutes, so let's smoke that and talk about what we're missing still, which is the machine.
This is awesome.
There's two machines we're missing. No, just only one machine.
Somewhere in my house.
Just one more step above machines here, which is the alcohol
You get your neck too, yo?
machine.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, bro. Sorry I'm abusing your back dildo.
It's all right, man. That's what it's there for.
Yo, oh.
So no, I did not get the honey badger water attachment.
Dude, when it's tight, like there's nothing like that. You'd sit there with your fucking hand and don't do shit. Like that thing like gets in there where you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, they left the tool in Seth's dad's stomach, and they had to go back in and have it removed.
Oh my god.
How the fuck, like?
The fucking doctor forgets.
A pry. Grab that mic, Adam. They pried him open with this tool, and then they dropped it in there by
The
accident.
fuck kind of doctor does that?
I hope they got paid for that. Jesus, wow. How'd you find out? They probably. How'd you find out about that? I want to know how you found out. Did he go home and be like, "Hey, yo, some noise in my stomach"?
Yeah,
What
he
happened?
had pain. He's like, something's wrong.
It had to be pain. Yeah, pain.
Go back and they're like, oh.
Grab that mic. I can't hear you. What?
Yeah, there was probably pain, and he went back to the hospital, and they X-rayed him, and they're like, "Oh, my bad, we left a tool in you."
Oh.
Funny story.
Oh.
That's terrible.
You sue for that, right?
Oh.
Yes. Like that's
You
a
better sue for that.
Is he suing?
Okay, he says he was in pain when he got home. Oh my God, he was in pain when he got home.
Yeah, man.
So he went home in
Yeah,
pain.
man.
Oh, with a tool inside of him. Probably making it worse. Probably like, just, things floating around there. Oh, ow. Oh. Oh. Ouch.
Yo, I'm going in right now.
Yeah, you were complaining when you...
When you do so like lower back stuff, like when my lower back's a little soft, like completely different kind of, like it's not knotted, like it's usually some kind of like light spasm or a little weak. Using the bottom, I'll hold the bottom and work the ball into my lower back, and that helps a ton.
Work the shaft.
Yeah, work the shaft. You cup the balls, work the shaft.
Oh, ow. That's true, though.
I mean, I'm holding on to the two balls now.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're cupping the balls, and wow, okay. It works.
What's up, Eve?
Oh, his dad, yeah, he did sue.
I think it's called getting neck.
Getting neck. He sued, and he was younger at the time. Okay, so good. Happy ending.
Like this isn't happening right now. This is something that happened previously.
It's a happy ending.
This didn't happen recently. This is something in the past. Okay, good. I thought like right now, like he was going back to the hospital right now to go get it taken out. That's what I thought.
Oh, I can move my head a little bit more.
Oh, Chris says he can move his head.
A little bit more, yeah.
See, you had a crick neck when you got in here. You were all like,
What?
Yeah.
What is it called, Adam?
Back dildo.
Right,
What?
back dildo.
I don't know.
And you're right. You can follow it all the way up.
oh yeah. Those are nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through my orders histories. I'll find it for you. Important life-saving technology. I definitely bought one within the last year again. Oh. It only goes to September now, huh?
Just type in. No, you can look at your entire history if you want, and then just search your history with the word back.
Cindy made some delicious medicated banana bread with maple roasted walnuts.
You got that scissor, Jason?
And Cindy wants to do a bake-off.
Thank you.
Everybody bakes. A lot of people bake, man. Cindy's really good. She makes really good candies and really amazing. Oh man, chocolates with white chocolate and dark chocolate mixed together. Ridiculous.
All right, I sent it in. I sent it into our board group chat. The link to it. $20. Or it's $16.99.
Trigger Point,
Yeah,
AccuCurve.
$16.49. Trigger Point AccuCurve, or Trigger Point Performance Store. Oh, Trigger Point AccuCurve massage cane for neck, back, and shoulders.
Massage cane.
Massage cane.
Massage cane.
I put in massage hook for back. That's what I found it by. And there's a couple of different ones, and I know someone else that had one and liked this one better. So I was like, okay, cool, I got the good one. We're ready to switch.
We're ready to smoke.
That was great. That was great.
Got it later.
Okay. I'm going to shut the show down in a minute. I'm going to thank CMMNJ, thank UFCW, Local 152. Thank you, Ken Walski, and all the guys and girls over there, Joanne, Jim. Ooh.
Massage cane.
Ooh, New Jersey State Governor's Jefferson Awards. Ooh, they won the Jefferson Award from the governor. Coalition for Medical Marijuana. You know what I say about awards? I just happen to have mine. This is great. Good timing, because these government officials sign awards that don't mean anything. They take photo ops and they do things to act like they care, but they don't care.
What was that? Chris. That's okay. Oh, I didn't tamp it like that. Fuck. Idiot. I'm an idiot. It's not gonna smoke right.
These government officials, man. First of all, the first award that I got was meaningful. It was the New Jersey Health Community Law Project, and it's a award for disabled activism. The government apparently gets involved when they see these affairs, and they say, "Oh, we want to be involved, and we want to sign off on some of these." So they get a stack of people, and they rubber stamp these awards, and they. So I got mixed in with all these people, apparently. Cody would never have signed this for me. Sweeney would never have signed this for me, because when I go to talk to Cody, he ignores me. He ignores me. I went to go see Sweeney. He's put me off to his people. He sent me off to his aides. It's a joke. It's a joke. The whole thing. It's a joke. So congratulations, CMMNJ. I hope your award means something. My other award meant something. The Community Health Law Project. This thing, nothing. I spilled pumpkin soup on this thing. There you go. There it is. Rip it out right here. There it is. I spilled pumpkin soup on it anyway, so here we go. Done.
Hold that there for
Disgusted. No compassion in our government. I'm delusional to think I'd be making a difference with these people anyway.
I told you there's a fine line between.
Yeah, hope and delusion, right?
Yeah, fine line between delusion and hope.
Yeah. So, a little upset. But the other award meant a lot more, so that's okay. This award here, whatever. It's the joint resolution. You know, you figure someone signs a joint resolution for you, they'd meet with you. It says you support my endeavors. Okay, you support my endeavors, well, answer my email. Meet with me. Nope.
Words. They support you with words?
Yeah, with words. That's it.
No actions.
No action. Lies. They support me with lies. That's what it is.
I think I panicked out of it. We didn't need the extra stuff.
So where are you at now with this process? What's going on? Okay, we're adding more. We're doing it again.
Repeat.
Repeating
Rinse
the process. Okay.
and repeat.
Rinsing and
just like the
repeating.
shampoo bottle says. Rinse and repeat. So we're going to do the first 2 steps all over again.
So you put everything back in the big bowl.
Everything back in the big bowl.
Start
more
over.
alcohol, more dry ice. And now we start over. And we're going to keep this one a little quicker than the last one. I'm going to clean out the filters. I'm going to use hot water and just rinse out some of the sediment and everything else that's sitting in there and let them dry out while I'm doing this. I'll also rinse out some of my equipment. Then after this, then I'm going to teach you about the secret filter without actually seeing it. So once you've done this twice, right, then I'll put it into a smaller bowl, one that's a little easier to pour out of, and let it sit for about 20 minutes. This will allow that sediment that I showed you before to settle to the bottom. You can see it. Like you could see it on the bottom. And at this point, you don't need to add dry ice anymore. Once there's no like flour in there, you're done with the dry ice step. So you can just get rid of it. I like to play spooky sink. You pour a couple in the sink and turn it on, and then everything gets spooky. So we're going to let it sit for about 20 minutes, then pour off 90% of it. Let it sit for another 10, 15 minutes, and then pour off like another 5% of that. And then throw out what's in the bottom. There'll be a little bit of alcohol, and you'll see all the substrate in there. From there, we will take it directly into the air still. We'll filter it through the 25 micron bag, which takes a little bit to filter, but not nearly as long as this. And that's going to get the last little bit of particles out of it. Once we have that, there is a fill line inside the air still. We'll fill it up to that line and run it. It takes about 30 minutes for it to start producing alcohol out of the drip. And then from there, it takes about 40 minutes to fill up a 8-ounce ball jar. From there, I will set a timer for 40 minutes and empty it. Depending on how much you use, it takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to run the full thing. If you have more alcohol than you can run past the fill line, you'll run it halfway, shut it off, open it up, and then pour the rest of your extract in there. And if you need to do that more than twice, then you have to do that more than twice. You can get around that by having several air stills, which we do not have right now. So the air still will run until it goes click, and then it will not run anymore. You hear the fan stop, and it's done. That means all the alcohol is evaporated off. Once you open it up, you have about 5 to 10 minutes you have to wait. You'll see a bunch of bubbles. It's still bubbling because it's boiling right now. So like as it bubbles, it'll start to cool down, and the bubbles will start to dissipate a little bit. Wait a little longer. You'll wait till they're almost all gone. And what this does is when you use the syringe inside it when it's super hot, it's also very liquid that it wants to run back out. It's hot on your fingers, and you suck up air bubbles. So your syringe that should hold 10 to 12 grams will only hold 5 to 6 grams because of the air bubbles that are stuck in it. So it's just a waste of material. So you wait till it cools. It's easier to handle. If you wait till it cools too much, do not scoop it out. You're going to basically have to, because you can't use it. You can't suck it up in a syringe at that point. It's too solid. You would remix alcohol into it, like at least 2 or 3 ball jars, get it completely saturated again, then run it a second time. It's not ideal. You're going to create less THC and more of the other stuff in there. It's going to be super sleepy sauce. Still have healing properties, but it's not, it's not the pinnacle of what you're trying to make, At that point, it's, anything that you can salvage is the good part. That's why I try to go through this and show everyone all these little processes so that you don't ever come to a point where you have to salvage your medicine. That shouldn't have to be your option.
What's the quickest way to fill your syringes then? Because you have to fill them quickly. What's the quickest way, right?
What do you mean by fill them quickly?
Well, you're saying you have a time limit of a window.
Oh, no. So, if you wait 20 minutes, that's too long.
Right.
But
so
like
you have 20-minute.
so like it's so like what I'll do is roll up your sleeves, take my so I'll put about a 2-inch. I'll put like a 2-inch stand on it, like something about this big, under the back of it, so it's on an angle, and let it pool to one side, because you want it as much as you can in there. Once it's at the point where there's not that many bubbles on it, I'll stick my syringe in and just right to the top cap, right to the top cap, right to the top cap, and you can just kind of repeat that till it's almost all gone.
Okay.
It will get to a point where you can't really get a syringe in there anymore. You're only pulling up like half a gram at a time. What I do is take a ball jar worth of alcohol, throw it in there, and leave it in overnight, allow it to reabsorb, and then I save that ball jar for next time I run it. So I always have a kind of like a sourdough starter.
Right.
I always have a little bit from the last run. And it's kind of become like part of the process for me at this point. That like, so essentially like, there is technically something from the first time I ever created RSO 6 years ago still in this. Like I've been using that same process over and over and over, and always saved that little bit at the end.
Thank you, CMMNJ,
So I'm going to use one of the.
UFCW.
How much do I owe you?
Oops, I just lost it.
40 for the big one, 20 for the something like that.
MagicalButter.com, JacksonStorms.com, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com. Cheryl Miller. Oh, I was doing something different. That's right. I started doing something different. Hold on. All right, you guys host the show for a minute while I produce.
Yes.
I'm looking for a video. I believe we could start right here.
It's good. Sure. My name is Jeffrey Oakes, from Oceanport, New Jersey, 60 Pemberton Avenue. It's good to be out again, speaking publicly. I've been a little under the weather, to say the least. I had 50% of my liver removed in April. And I'm here to talk tonight about medical cannabis and the ban. You guys have a ban in place on the sale of medical cannabis, correct?
In this time sewer, yes.
Yes. That's what I'm here to talk about. And I understand the demographics of Seagar. It's a small town, and a dispensary wouldn't necessarily fit in to the town. And we get that. But when the towns all band together, it creates a terrible shortage of medication for the patients that are in the New Jersey medical marijuana program, that overwhelmingly, like probably up to 75% of the citizens of the state support. My friends here, they're artists, they're performers. We have fun with our illnesses. We're all very seriously ill, some of us. So what I would ask is everybody just relax and try to have an open mind and hear us out, because we have no lawyers with us. We have no doctors with us. Medication that we use is illegal at the federal level, but yet it's legal for us to carry and use in accordance with the Board of Health. But the fact that the program is so young, it's difficult for the patients to navigate, and the politics of it, which we're here tonight addressing, becomes very difficult for us. I've been dealing with cancer for 4 years, and at the same time, I've been fighting to have my medication be normalized and be given respect without a stigma. And I know that that stigma exists. For this past weekend, I was assaulted for medicating in public by just another citizen who took offense to me. That person is under arrest today, I believe. And that's what I have to go through, and my friends have to go through, to use a medication that is safer than what is offered by pharmaceutical companies, and that is the source of our opioid appetite here in New Jersey and across the United States. What I would ask the council here tonight is to, this may sound weird, I guess, but keep your ban, but at the same time, consider a resolution that would support medical cannabis rather than just saying no to cannabis, to medical cannabis. And that would help the patients a lot. I mean, I stand here today as a recipient of my own activism. And my friends also took a big part in the legislation that is known now as Jake's Law. That was passed about 2 months ago, signed into effect by the governor. And I stand here before you tonight and take a good look at me, if you will. I'm probably one of the first patients in New Jersey to have an unlimited monthly amount of cannabis, being I'm considered terminal. So that's what we're up against. And I'm up here literally dying in front of you, advocating for myself and advocating for which is probably over 60,000 patients here in New Jersey. And it's only going to get bigger. And the goal of most of the patients that I'm familiar with is to stay active with their disabilities, treat their disease or their ailment, and not be hooked on dangerous pharmaceuticals. People want choice. That's what it's about. It's not about recreation. It's not about getting your get out of jail free card so you can get high. You know, it's more than that. It's cancer patients. It's veterans that come home from war, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's your police department that have to clean up the mess in the middle of the night when we're sleeping. They have to look at it, and it affects them. And we advocate for police to use medical cannabis rather than use opioids. But for them, they can't. They're like treated as second-rate citizens. We actually have more rights to alternative medication than the police do, and that's a sin. Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes, and I wish you.
Hashtag they shall grow. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not worry them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.